Hey guys, what's up? I hope that you are all doing well. And I just want to talk to you guys about just how important it is to be flexible in your life and especially in your business because it is possible for you to have all the things that you want. You just might have to work for it. And you may end up having to change the way that you're showing up in your own personal life so that you can transform how you show up in your own business. Just being able to just adapt and change your way of doing things or your way of thinking about things is essential when you are creating something for you that is worthwhile in your life. So I want you guys to just keep that in mind. I know that there are so many videos out there where people are talking about like the routine as an entrepreneur, but here's what you really need to know about that. Your routine should cater to your unique energy, your strengths, your goals. It should be a highly individualized way for you to create a system that not only is going to help you in your own personal life, but it's going to help you in your business. And I don't feel like that is stressed enough in those kinds of videos. It's like when people upload them and you watch it, you might start thinking to yourself that, like, this is the way that things need to be done, or this is the way that you have to do things. And that's not true. Even if the person who made the video is someone who's in a career path where you want to be in the future, or they have a similar business to something that you want to create in your business, the same thing still applies here. Like, you don't really know how that person's personal life is set up. You might not know how much help or support that they're getting in both their life and their business. And so those little things can drastically change how they're able to create their routines and how they're structuring their routine. So if you don't know all those things, like, you're going to be looking at that video and you're going to think like, oh my God, this is the way I have to do things. And if I don't do it this way, then I'm not going to be successful, or I'm not going to be able to create those same results that this other person has. And that's not true. What that does is it'll put you in a state of burnout, especially if it's something that, doesn't really align with you. And you'll also start to doubt yourself. You'll start to doubt if you're able to create those things. So I just want you guys to keep that in mind whenever you are watching videos like that, and keep that in mind whenever you see people posting on social media or other platforms about the kinds of results that they've been able to create in their lives and their businesses. You don't have the full story. You don't have all the details. It makes a huge difference if someone maybe has a coach or someone who's helping them with the things that they're doing, and so they're able to show up a little bit more effectively. Or maybe they have people who are working for them in their business that are able to, I don't know, do things like come up with their content or stuff like that, and that changes what they're going to tell you that they're doing in their routine. Because if they have other people who are taking care of those other tasks, that means that they're not doing them. And so when you watch those videos, you don't have that information. And that's why maybe that person isn't going to be talking about other things that are like really important for them to do, like to have in a routine so that they have a successful business. And so what I recommend for you guys to do is to make sure that you are starting your day off with yourself. Like, when I'm thinking back to times in my life, I always feel like I show up more effectively in every aspect of my life, not even just business or career path, but I show up more effectively whenever I ground myself, whenever I take time to center myself for the day instead of just like getting up and like jumping right into work. And if you start jumping right into your work too, like, you're going to start going into like this kind of phase where, so many people believe that you have to sacrifice so much, or you have to pretty much be like miserable as you're trying to create results, especially if it's something that's business related. And I don't really agree with that, because think of other areas of your life where maybe you've been able to create things, whether that is to improve things in relationships with people that you have in your life, right? Like those were things that were really important to you. And maybe there were things that you had to change, but it didn't necessarily have to mean that like you had to suffer the whole time while you were getting those things. Like there's a difference between suffering and actually doing hard work. So please keep that in mind, especially when you're coming up with your routines. And the next thing that I have to say to you goes back to like that skill of being flexible, like the way that you create something today. And it's like a specific routine that works for you now may not work for you 3 months from now when you decide that like you want to create a course or something like that. Like as your goals change, as you are coming up with more effective systems, you're going to figure out what resonates more with you. You're going to discover what's more in alignment for yourself. And so you do yourself a disservice whenever you are not open enough to um, cater to those different things. So, how you're doing things now may look different over time, and that's absolutely okay. It doesn't mean you're failing. And that's also why it's so important, like I said, not to just go based on like how every person talks about like setting up their routine or like their life. We don't know if they're willing to like change the way that they're showing up and doing things. Who knows? They might be doing the same routine for like the past like couple of years and they may be feeling burnt out like after they like shut off their camera after they're like done filming or like talking about their routine or whatever. Like you never know what's going on in other people's lives. And so, like the things that I used to do in my routine isn't exactly how I'm showing up now. I would recommend, you just doing things that are going to help you ground yourself, like whether that's meditating, taking some time to deep breathe, focus on your breath, do things that make you feel really good, that are calming for you. I used to have a routine where I'd wake up, I'd pray, I would do some yoga in the morning in my room, and then I would meditate for a few minutes, listen to some meditative music, and then I would take out my laptop and I would write things down, whatever thoughts I had coming up for me that morning. And that's what I did every day before I went into doing any work or anything like that. And so that's, even though some of the things that I mentioned are things that like totally would be beneficial for me to do right now, I am kind of like in a different spot. So now I need to figure out better ways to do what I need to do. So there's that. And I want you to consider what it is that you actually have fun doing, right? Because I feel like this gets lost sometimes. Like when we're so focused on doing work, or even when we're doing things that are things that we're passionate about, we turn it into work so much that we forget to have fun with the things that we're doing. And that's essential. Like just because something may be hard for you to do or it takes a lot of energy doesn't mean that you can't have fun with it. Like we need to start challenging the kind of black and white thinking that we have about things. It's really black and white to think that like it needs to be all hard one way, or like that means I'm not showing up 100% in business. Like that's not true. That's absolutely not true. There are so many people who are having fun with what they're doing. It doesn't mean you have to like suffer or not enjoy what it is that you're doing. And actually, when you enjoy it more, I think that you show up in a different way for the people that you're serving. You show up in a different way with the kind of content that you're creating, the kinds of like courses or programs or whatever it is that you want to create at some point. And so that's just the thing too, right? Like you could work really long hours and follow what it is that other people are doing, and that'll help you get money and you'll create the results that you want. But it's really harmful if you're sacrificing so many other things in your personal life that maybe you don't need to sacrifice. Like that is going to affect the way that you are going to decide to show up. And like the number one thing I think that really hurts people, it definitely I have had hurt me so much in my life, even just like with school and things like that in the past when I was still in school, is feeling burnout. Like I would set these really huge goals for myself and put too much into my day, and I wasn't having fun with it. And when I did that, like I would feel so freaking burnt out. Like I didn't have any energy to like give back to myself. And also I felt like I was like over giving to other people as well. And that's never a good thing because you need to be able to have energy to show up for your clients and for yourself, or you're not going to be able to do what it is that you love doing. So take some time to see what goals you have and see how your personal life goals can support goals that you have for you and your business. Like, what are your personal goals? Really think about that and make sure that you can still commit to those things because it's going to make you a better entrepreneur. The biggest thing that you can do is make sure that as you create your life, your business, your career path, remember that this is about what feels good to you. It's about your specific goals, how you specifically work. If you're just frantically taking on what everyone else is doing without checking if what you're doing is actually in alignment with you, then you're going to feel frustrated and you're going to wonder why things aren't working out for you. And it's because you haven't taken the time to access your intuition on what it is that can lead to your success. When you listen to your intuition, you can acknowledge that anything is possible for you. And that is such a big key in everything that like you do in life. This isn't just a business topic or a conversation to have. Like, are you showing up and using your intuition in other areas of your life? Do you even know what it's like to access your intuition? Do you know how to do that? Are you able to understand when something feels like it's in alignment for you? And if you have just answered no to any of these questions, like don't get too down on yourself. I mean, a lot of people don't know the answers to these questions, but just being able to start checking in with yourself like throughout the day, even on little things, it can really make a difference in how you access your intuition because it's like a muscle. The more that you practice it, the more that you use it, the better that you'll get at using it, the easier it will be to notice when it's your intuition telling you to do something versus, like you overthinking about something, or you maybe just taking on what other people are suggesting or telling you to do that maybe isn't best for what you actually need at the time. And it's important to understand this because so many amazing opportunities can show up for you in your life when you listen to your intuition. Like there's so many amazing experiences that I've even been able to have, just like even in my personal life, just from listening to my intuition. Like I've also had experiences where, like, for example, when I was doing my capstone project in college, I needed to do my capstone and graduate. And for my capstone, I coached people like throughout the semester, and I really had a hard time trying to find people to sign up for it. And so what I did was I started trying to come up with strategies. And one thing that I intuitively felt like was going to help me was just getting out there and talking to people like on campus and just letting my intuition guide me to who it was that I needed to speak to. Like these were all strangers, mind you. Like I didn't know these people. I didn't know anything about them. I didn't know like if this was going to support them or what was going to happen with that. But it's so amazing because all the people that ended up signing up were like all the people who are like my dream clients. They were all people who I really enjoyed working with. They wanted help on the exact things where I had a lot of knowledge. They wanted help on things that I felt passionate and happy to show up on calls to talk about and to hold space for. And so I really do encourage you to figure out some ways in your daily life how you can start accessing your intuition a little bit more. How we show up in our own personal lives is going to affect our businesses. So I'll give you an example. If you are unreliable in your personal relationships, there are going to be ways that you're going to show up as being unreliable in your business. If you keep creating routines that don't cater to you and your energy, you're going to be burnt out, and you're going to be the kind of person in your business who consistently shows up to calls with no energy, and that's going to affect your sales. If you have unhealed wounds from childhood, that can still affect your business because, for example, like you may have low self-esteem, maybe you're unwilling to like try one simple strategy in your business that consistently can get you clients, and you know this, but instead you decide to stay stuck just doing the same repetitive strategies that waste your time, that don't give you any return on your investment, and that overall just leads you to doubt your ability to have a successful business doing something that you love. Like that is a major thing that I don't feel like is talked about enough. Like when we're working in business and in our career, sometimes like we think that we know exactly how we're showing up, but your subconscious, what's in there is what guides all of your decision making. So like if you're not speaking up and you're not somebody who communicates your needs just like in your own personal life, because maybe that's not how you grew up, maybe you're not used to being in environments with people who can do that. And so if that's the case, like you're going to have a hard time talking to people about how amazing your business is, how awesome you are, especially if you're trying to create like your own career path. That shit is going to be really hard for you because it's not something that you're actively doing in your own personal life as well. And these things do go hand in hand. Like there are so many people in the world right now who need exactly what you have to offer. And you may be stuck in these cycles where you're doubting yourself. You're not allowing yourself to show up 100% in your business or in your life. And I'm telling you right now, if you're not showing up 100% in your life, you're not going to show up 100% in your business either. It's just not going to happen. And a lot of this stuff happens because we don't realize how we're showing up. Like that's why it's so beneficial to like have a life coach, to have a mentor who can help you with the business side and the personal side so that like you can gain better awareness and clear out the beliefs that are driving your misaligned actions. And so I encourage you to think about how you're showing up in your business right now. Like, what places are you not going all in? What is blocking you from going all in? Take some time to deep dive into who you are and how this is positively impacting your business, and figure out some ways that maybe you could change how you're showing up. Change the ways that feel misaligned for you. Even you just taking a second to like think about these things and answer these questions, this is an active practice that can get you used to like accessing your intuition. And make sure that you are like writing everything down. Come up with some things that you can commit to that are going to help support you. And if you want support around anything that I talked about in this episode, reach out to me. I can give you info on sales, marketing. I can also help you like put your intuition at the forefront of how you choose to follow your dreams so that you can create systems and follow through on life commitments that are in alignment with your goals, your unique gifts, and how you want to show up for other people. So many people, and I've even like done this myself a couple times, like they hire coaches who are very knowledgeable on business and they give them great business advice, but they don't actually allow their clients to access their intuition. They don't teach you how to like let your intuition be at the forefront. Let that be the decision maker in what you choose to do. Some don't even give you life coaching to shift some of the fears and limiting beliefs that are subconsciously driving behaviors that keep you stuck from being able to reach the goals that you have. So if you want to work with me and if anything that I shared resonates with you, you can reach out to me through my website, biancaward.com. And then you and I are just going to set up a free call to talk about you, your business, and what it is that you want to create and how I can potentially help you get there. And I'm so grateful that you guys sat here and like you listened to this episode. It really does mean the world to me. Please make sure that you subscribe to my channel. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts. I release a new episode every Thursday. Please share this video with anyone who you think might benefit from hearing these episodes. Like, you never know, you might just make somebody's day, and you might actually be answering a prayer that maybe they've been praying to God about something too. So, I always encourage you guys to share these episodes whenever you have like a specific person come up for you in your mind as you're watching these. And please make sure that you write a review too. It will help me out a lot, and it helps to push out my episodes so that more people can watch and access them. I think I only have like one review right now, so like that will really help me out a lot. And I'm so grateful that you guys are here, and I will see you next week. Bye.